All right, welcome back to the Pack 9, where all we do is think about how we're going to start each episode. It's literally all I do every day. So, with that being said, we're going to preview the Packers this week. They're playing at home, right? At home against
Hmm.
Minnesota in a must win game, kind of for both teams, definitely for Green Bay. This is part two of this episode. They played in week one, and Justin Jefferson had a field day, and and the Packers ended up losing that battle. But that was early in the season. This is the
Yeah,
brand
our
new
wide
Packers.
receivers didn't know what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is actually going to be a great game. Uh, Minnesota Magic, or I mean the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, you might as well call them Minnesota Magic. They've got all these miraculous wins. Will their magic continue to sustain? I don't think so, but it might against the Packers. I think with the Vikings, you always got to account for Justin Jefferson and Thielen, Dalvin Cook. All of their skill positions are stacked. And their defense definitely is a timely defense. You know, Patrick Peterson is older, but he's still making plays. They have Zadarius Smith. They have a lot of people. Hunter.
Hmm.
They got a lot of pretty big names on both sides of the ball. I think this will be a tough task for the Packers. But on the flip side, you know, Rodgers has been playing the Vikings for a long time, and I've been saying this for a while, but right now the Packers are looking very streaky. I would not want to play the Packers right now. What are you thinking about this one?
Well, I think if you look at how the Vikings have been winning their games, it's been slow starts for them and just hitting the gas pedal in the second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at back at the Packers games where we have been successful, we have been doing the opposite with our defense, right? Like we've been shutting down teams in the second half and making good adjustments. And that shows that Minnesota has 373 points against on the year to our 334, right?
Mm.
Um, Now, on the other end of the spectrum, they have about 65 more points than us over that amount of time because
Well,
their offense is stacked, right? I love
yeah,
everybody on the offense except for Kirk Cousins, who's very streaky,
yeah,
right? We don't really know. Um, but I think the way that we win this week is that we got to come out swinging early. That's it. We just got it. We got to jump the gun in the beginning, um, either by connecting on deep passes and getting maybe some turnovers to help us put up even more points quickly, or just grinding out some really good runs.
mm-hmm.
And uh, and if we stick to that game plan, then we could stop them. The Minnesota Vikings, like I said, just have this thing about coming back from any
Yeah,
deficit and then just winning by a point or two, and that's where the crux of this game is going to be. If we don't end up being up by halftime, I don't think this is going to be like a comeback game against the Dolphins. I think that we just won't be able to stop them. They're conditioned towards the end. You know,
yeah,
Dalvin Cook is insane. Justin Jefferson's insane. They have a bunch of options to spread the ball. They can choose what plays to run essentially at will, uh, and it is going to be tough. But we
yeah.
do have the momentum right now going into this game. It is at home in January, right? So it's going to be tough for the Dome Team Vikings. And then
Mm-hmm.
after, just looking ahead, it's going to be tough for the Dome Team Lions too, because we also have that as a home game.
Yeah, and like
So
like
hopefully we can get a little bit of Mother Nature on our side, right?
yeah, and like we were saying in the recap video, which if you haven't seen this week, go check that one out. The Packers defense shut out the Dolphins in the second half, and so I think for me, I think the X factor is going to be the defense, and can they hold off the Vikings from scoring, you know, in the 30s.
Hmm.
The Packers, you know, they've scored up there this year, but that's not really their type of game. They're trying to win more like mid 20s, like 24-20, 27-24.
Yeah.
You know, so if the defense can just kind of hold, but you know, Justin Jefferson is on a tear. He might break the receiving yards record. He is kind of, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think he's the second best receiver to Devontae Adams. In my opinion, Justin Jefferson has just been ridiculous.
Yeah, and also, like I said in the recap video, go watch the recap video if you haven't yet. The way to beat the Packers is running on them. And
Mm.
Dalvin Cook can run all over us, right? Especially if we have to worry about Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne, KJ Osborne, I think. Like that spreads us out so much, and then so it's gonna be tough. It'll really be
Yeah.
tough. They might just beat themselves though. They are the Vikings.
And we have the line at Green Bay -3.5. Right?
That's it.
That's interesting. That
I think that's really interesting. It might not even. I think that this is a trap game if you've ever seen one,
yeah,
right?
this I would not bet on this game because I
Hmm.
don't know. I think the honestly I don't think Rodgers is gonna go out on a losing note this season. I think he's gonna win out. So I'm gonna pick the Packers to win this in a close one. I'm gonna say the score is going to be 24-21. Oh wait, so then they wouldn't cover. So they won't cover,
Hmm.
but they'll win, is what I'm thinking.
I also think we won't cover, but we'll win. I just think that it'll be a higher scoring game than that, though.
Mm.
I think it'll be a really tight one where we have to struggle to keep them away towards the end of the game and just hopefully get a turnover to end it just like we did against the Dolphins. And so I'm gonna say Packers 28, Vikings 27.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be that close. I think it's gonna be that high scoring. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and I need Aaron Jones for my fantasy championship, but I think he's also going to be playing a big role as well, trying to get him going. I don't know
Mm.
what was going on with the Packers the last game. I feel like Jones wasn't playing as much as he should have. I don't know what was going on, but they still ended up winning. So what can I
Yeah.
say?
I don't
And
know either. I mean, the running it because the other thing too, right? And when we were previewing the Dolphins game last time, I said that the game plan should be that we are throwing the ball a bunch, and we did do that. And it wasn't super successful in the first half, but it was pretty successful in the second half. Um, but I think that's how you beat the Dolphins, right? And that's how the Chargers beat the Dolphins too. So, but
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think that's how you beat the Vikings. I think the way you get beat the Vikings is you go up, you just go up so high um, in the by the end of the third quarter that they can't come back, unless of course you're Jeff Saturday and the Colts and just love giving away a game apparently.
Man, they'll never
Yeah.
live that down.
But come
Yeah.
on, I really think that any other team, I mean, even the Colts, 9 times out of 10 can't blow that, right? And any other team wouldn't have blown that either. 33-0 is just like an anomaly
Right.
beyond anomalies.
Oh my goodness.
Give us that score and see if the Vikings can come back. I dare you.
Yeah. Man. Well, I think either way, I think this is going to be one of my favorite games of the weekend, so I'm super stoked. We'll see if our predictions are right, though. It's going to be a close one. But that'll do it for us here at the Pack 9. Make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. Check out our other videos, and we will see you later.